We have reached manipulate records with DML. I'm gonna scroll on through, just continuing. Never seen this, but just DML. I do not use delete, undelete, or merge very often. Honestly, I've never used undelete and I've never used merge. I use the other four. At least I use the other three all the time. You know what? I don't even use upsert that often. I use insert and update. So we'll see what happens over here. I usually don't use the database or .insert. I probably should be. Database.saveResult. Don't use that too often, but should. It really makes it easier to loop through fails. So let's see if what they actually make us do down here. And you know what? I'll use that. I usually just use insert with a try around it. Let's see what they want us to do here. To pass this challenge, create an Apex class that inserts a new account named after an incoming parameter. Okay. If the account is successfully inserted, the method should return the account record. Okay. If a DML exception occurs, the method should return null. Okay. I like that. That makes a lot of sense. And 2 lessons ago, I actually ran into an issue with, I guess, the wording down here. I'm going to just try to build this and maybe not even look at these for fear that they might make me stumble. So let's open up the developer console. Open up over here. Here's the last lesson we did in Apex, so we're going to make a brand new one, and I actually have to look there because I need to know exactly what they should be called, so I need to do that. The Apex class must be called account handler. Alright. Apex class must be called account handler. New class. Copy and paste always. There it is. Account handler. And it must be in public scope. It already was. Scope by default is public. Sometimes you need to change that to global, not in this case. The Apex class must have the public static method insert new account. Alright, I'm not going to look any further than that. I'm just going to go with what I think. And it shouldn't matter what the method's called. It needs to accept a string parameter, which I assumed was right. Alright, so this is a public static method that's going to return a string called insert new account, and it's looking for us to return or create an account. I need to return something. I think that'll give us an error in Java, but I think Salesforce is happy to do that. Just return something. And hopefully we don't get an error trying to save. Looks like we already are. We are. So we might have to do this out in... We will keep... I don't think we have to make a test class, so we'll probably just build it out in here. Excuse me, right here. We'll go to Apex classes. For some reason, when I'm doing Trailhead, this just fails me. I don't know why. And we're not doing anything too complex, so there's nothing wrong with us doing creating these out here. It's called account handler. So I'll just come to the class out here and just modify it out here. I don't need the IntelliSense or anything. So we already wrote some of this. Let's just pull this out. And we'll talk about it again. Okay. So we've made a public class called account handler. In there we have a public static method that accepts a string called account name and then returns the account name as a string if it gets inserted. And in order to just save something, I'm saying return this blank value. So we need to actually insert this. So it looks like what it wanted us to use up there was database.insert, which I think we can do. Oh, we need to make a new account. Account I believe that is all we actually have to provide for an account. And then we need to insert it. And it wanted, so I would normally use insert like that, and then return the account name. So let's just build that for now. But it said if there's an error, return null. The IntelliSense actually does kind of come in handy, and it looks like it's at least indenting for us. And we would try to catch an error. Which I think is this. Catch exception. Oh, still. I think we need to make a string called return value. There's a few ways to do this. We're gonna do it like this. Return value, and we're going to return value, and if we insert it successfully and we don't get an error, we'll we'll set return value to account name. Otherwise, return value will be null. So it's null here. We can even, make it really explicit. So return value is going to equal null. And do it up here. Make a new account, add it. Make a new account with the account name, add it here based on our parameter, try to insert it. If we get an error, it doesn't tell us to do anything, but this will be your sort of exception handling here. Let's save it, let's run it, see what happens. We'll just go with super simple. Yeah, let's actually see if anything else should be in here. A method must accept an incoming string as a parameter, which will be used to create the account name. The method must insert the account into the system and then return the record. Oh, return the account record. Okay. The method must also accept an empty string, catch the failed DML, and then return null. Okay. So I'm glad I read this because this would error out. So it needs to actually return an account, so that was wrong. So it actually needs to be string, or it needs to return an account. Like that. And I wonder if it'll let us do that. Will it let us just return A? Oh, so account. We're going to do it differently now. New account. try to insert it, and we need to actually I'm gonna go for this. New account. This is kind of messy, but I think it'll get the job done. Select name from account. Name equals, I have to do it like this. Account name. Oh, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense because it wants us to return. The method should return the account record. If the DML exception occurs, it'll still return null. That's fine. That is right. Alright, so we're going to make new account here, and we set new account to, after we insert the record, we then query new account here. It'll also come back with the ID. So we'll query our account here. If we run into an error when trying to insert it, we'll just return null, which is fine. And if we don't run into an error, we're going to return the new account right there. Let's see if that does it. Check. All right.